Coming up on Taking Stock, I'll take a look at the booming business of pop-up shops. We've got two gentlemen who just opened a pop-up restaurant in New York. We'll tell you what it is and why this might be good for any business. This is Taking Stock on Bloomberg. I'm Pimm Fox. Pop-up shops, this is a short-term sales space. They've grown tremendously in popularity. The trend now is spreading to the restaurant industry. A new pop-up restaurant series, it's called Project Sarah, made its debut in New York yesterday. And for those of you linguistic experts, Sarah is derived from the Sanskrit word meaning essence. The 5-course meals are going to focus on exposing the core flavor of each ingredient offered. I'm joined now by Viraj Borkar. He is the founder and the president, and Mangesh Ilag. He is co-founder and managing partner. Great to have you both here. Thanks very much for being here.
Thanks for
Viraj, I want to begin with you just to try to explain to people what goes into creating a pop-up shop.
Well, to create a pop-up shop, Pimm, it takes a lot of details. The devil lies in the details, that's said. First of all, it needs extensive planning, right from knowing who you're going to team up with, collaborate with, to going into the sourcing of the ingredients, as well as getting the right space.
Right, the real estate, right? So you got to find the real estate in the right place where, in the case of your particular endeavor, the Sarah project, you're going to attract people who obviously want the kind of food you're offering. So you find the space. Where was your first space?
The very first space for the soft launch that we did was Tribeca Rooftop. It's on Desbrosses Street, and that's exactly where we will be popping up soon, too.
Okay, so on a rooftop of a building?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So, Mangesh, did you decide what kind of food to bring to the space, or was that already determined beforehand?
All right, it was determined beforehand because the concept itself is a platform where we call upon a chef, we tie up with them, and at least 2-3 weeks before in hand, our panel discuss everything with them, what menu we're gonna make and everything. So we already know what menu it's gonna be, and that's how we do it.
Viraj, did you have to go through the typical bureaucracy of getting the license, whether it's serving liquor or serving food, and the insurance and utilities, all of these things for a short term?
No one escapes that.
Right.
We had to go through the entire process. Generally, pop-up restaurants are kind of like those who can avoid all these kind of things, but we do not want to do that. So obviously we went through all the catering licenses required, the insurance that covers up for a specific amount of time, liquor license as and when we pop up in a particular place.
Now, you've got a lot of background in the food service business, so you know about the costs involved of running a traditional restaurant versus a pop-up shop. Can you give us any idea of whether there is a significant difference in the overall cost per cover, per diner?
Absolutely. Absolutely, a big difference. To open a restaurant in a city like New York, where the competition is tremendous, I would say a minimum amount that goes in would be $500,000 plus.
Okay.
And obviously the rate of survival, in which case in the city it's 65% failure rate.
65%, so 65 out of every 100 restaurants gone.
Yes, absolutely. At the end of third year, we have seen 65% failure rates in the restaurant. However, when it comes to a pop-up restaurant industry, the startup costs are low. It can range anywhere from $2,000 to up to $50,000. It all depends upon the kind of space, the kind of resources, and mainly the kind of pop-up you want to take up. For us, we are doing an upscale pop-up, so obviously the startup costs are a little high, considering the real estate that we go in. So I would say approximately $20,000 to $30,000. However, it's a low-risk investment as compared to opening a restaurant.
Obviously, because you're not spending as much money.
Yeah.
Mangesh, what kinds of foods can people expect to experience in this pop-up experience?
Okay, since it's an open platform, we tie up with different chefs. So the last event that we did was with a Euro-American person. He was in Europe for more than 14 years. So he has a tremendous amount of experience from that cuisine and also from America. So we did this fusion kind of event. So we're gonna be doing more of next Indian, continental, and as we grow, we're gonna make it different.
And is this pop-up shop concept, is that unique to the United States, or is this something that you've experienced globally?
Globally, yes, we have seen this before, but then our concept is a little bit different because most of the pop-ups, they have a communal seating, but our pop-ups are like a restaurant class of seating, which is like a table of juices. We put white tablecloth, a trained server, bartender.
So like a regular restaurant.
Like a regular restaurant, but then everything is done from scratch, for each and every event. So the decor is different from number 1 event to 2. It's depending on the food for the theme. Everything is getting changed.
How did the two of you meet? How did you come together to do this?
This industry is vast, but also a tightly knit group. So we crossed each other during one restaurant operation, which is Tamarind Tribeca. It's a long story, but
so you were
short,
able to put up with each other at that venue, and you decided to do it again.
Absolutely, and I had plenty of contacts, but I think he is the one to go out there and get it done kind of a person, which is exactly what I needed, and the frequency matched, and I don't think that's a better thing to do.
Are pop-up shops, particularly in the food service business, is that a way to also create a catering operation?
Absolutely. It's also a way to create a new buzz, create a new market segment, capture it even before you jump into a properly established restaurant, and obviously a module to try out new experiments and new ideas.
Mangesh, what about Project Sarah? We were talking about essence. What essence can we experience with Project Sarah?
Right, so like we say, Project Sarah, it's projecting essence or creativity of an individual. So a person, a chef who knows the menu, who knows the science behind the ingredients, and he engineered those things, and he come up with a special menu.
So what would be on the menu in this case?
So my chef Viraj and the guest chef, they sit together and they communicate, like, you know.
But so you don't know what's going to be on the menu
Well,
yet.
I am mostly taking care of front of the house operations, but yes, I'm also taking a look what's happening. So other than cooking, I'm the person who's like taking care of all the like ground.
But I mean, what kind of food can we expect to eat? I noticed you got shrimp here. You have a variety. You have something looks like
Project Sarah, even suitable to its name, projecting essence, is projecting the very essence of being a chef and projecting the very essence of a particular ingredient. So we are approaching our menu in a grid-style format, which is omakase. In which case we just omakase.
Okay.
In Japanese, it means trust the chef. What we do is we do not actually reveal to the diner what kind of dish or what kind of cuisine they will be expecting from a particular ingredient. But when they come and sit down, especially like yesterday, or you can see it right over here, it's quail eggs and chicken, but kind of modified in individual way, and a combination of all these different ingredients.
So it's like a pop-up shop, but it's also pop-up cuisine. So that's a surprise too. Great. Thank you very much for sharing this with us. Viraj Borkar, Project Sarah founder, and the president, Mangesh Ilag. He's co-founder and managing partner of Project Sarah.